After all the nonsense?
I stopped physical therapy.
As you should have. Should have never happened.
It's about to be insurance.
Oh, yeah.
Go through all the steps.
Oh, yeah. Show the meeting called to order at 6:01 PM. Would you please call the roll?
John Maury,
Present.
Carl Pest,
Present.
Jason Malasco,
Present.
Tom Wishlinski,
Present.
Bob Schwered,
Present.
Veronica Horka, present, and absent is Larry Bala. Present.
He's here.
Present.
Did everyone receive a copy of the minutes of the previous meeting?
Yes, we did.
Yes, sir. And what's the pleasure of the board with regard to the minutes?
Mr. Chairman, go ahead and make a motion that we accept the minutes as written.
Second.
Questions on the motion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Old business, item 1, SBA Communications for T-Mobile by Eric Greenfield, 500 North Elmer Street in Cheever Park. A public hearing on a use variance to enlarge the size of the canister to allow for new antennas and equipment.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. Has all of the requirements been met for the public hearing?
Yes.
With that, we will open the public hearing. Why don't you tell us basically, well, first identify yourself and then tell us what it is that you want to do over there.
Yes, and I'll apologize in advance if I start to cough a ton. I've been really sick, but just wanted to throw that out there. My name is Eric Greenfield. I'm with SBA Communications here on behalf of T-Mobile Central USA. The basic scope of work that we're proposing to do is take the existing flagpole structure that's at Cheever Park, enlarge the existing canisters from 36-inch outer diameter to 60-inch, to continue to house the antennas and equipment. The original proposal was to convert the flagpole tower to a traditional monopole. After discussion with the Park Township, the Park Board, we found that that would not be positively found, so we decided to go with alternative design to expand the canister. Flagpole will remain. There will be a flag, it'll still be lit. The only difference will be the outer size of the diameter of the canisters.
Is there anybody here to speak for or against the proposal for a use variance to enlarge the size of the canister for SBA Communications at Cheever Park? Anybody?
Just general information.
Your name and address, sir.
My name is Jim Raditz, 700 block of J Street.
Okay, and sir, what's your question?
The alternative of having that there, that thing has been there
Probably
5 years,
Well, it's probably close to 15 years.
15 years.
Yes. When the tower, if I can speak freely.
Absolutely.
When that tower was first constructed, at that time, the radio equipment was much
They didn't
smaller.
put anything on it.
Right, they just had basically the 8-inch wide antenna, maybe 60 inches tall and 4 inches, 5 inches deep. It would fit within the existing 30-inch outer diameter canister. Today, with everybody using their phone for, data and all that, radios have to go inside of there, which help capacity and speed. That won't fit within that 30-inch canister. So the preferred design method is to try and convert these towers to traditional monopoles. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We try to work with communities where there's flagpoles in place where the community wants to see them stay a flagpole structure. So there's these alternative designs to where you have a larger diameter to fit the equipment, still meet the network requirements, but also keep the stealth, the appearance of the tower.
Why was that site chose in the very beginning on school property, as opposed to
I don't believe that's on the school town of Griffith's property. I believe that that is on the town of Griffith's property.
It is
Right.
correct.
Yeah, that's not school property.
No.
And as far as why that.
It's right next to it, but it's not,
The school's right there.
yeah, but it's not.
As far as why that location was chosen, 15, 17 years ago, it's all just based on, network requirements and coverage needs. The high demand for coverage in that area. Not only will it benefit Verizon, or I'm sorry, T-Mobile and the surrounding area, but it will also encourage more co-location at that site, because Verizon, AT&T, they have a hard time fitting their equipment in those small design canisters as well. So, for
Yeah.
those that might have different carriers, that might experience coverage issues, this will help in that aspect of that.
Okay.
I apologize, I had a bunch of questions, but my internet is down. I'm going on memory, when I first looked it up,
Hopefully it'll be fixed now.
they were talking about health concerns. You know, and I mean, then now you said we started out with something like this, then went to that, now we're at what's next?
I want to answer your questions, but it's a slippery slope to begin that conversation. Part of the rules of the FCC is that the frequencies and the radio transmission is governed by the FCC and not by local jurisdictions, unfortunately. So, I understand people's concerns, but these radio waves are all around us all the time.
Yeah, but we know how our government's running.
Well, again,
Nobody's watching.
we can't get into the nuances of that, but I understand where you're coming from. To put it into, I guess, layman's terms, unless you're up there standing right in front of that antenna for a long exposed time, there's no harmful effects. I've been doing this for 20-plus years. Yes, yes, because it emits out like this and not down like this.
Right.
I've been doing this for 25 years, and I've been on rooftops with antennas, and I'll tell you, if you're not safe and you walk in front of one, you can feel it, but you're within distance from this gentleman's lot. There's there's no issue with that.
Okay, any other questions, sir?
It was a much different color.
Sir, did you have any other questions?
Just one more about affecting property values. I've heard, like I said, my research I did earlier, they were saying that you can take up to a 7% hit in property taxes. And maybe a much larger antenna, but like I said, I don't.
There's been, I'll just say this, there's studies that you can find opposing and agreeing with everything.
Right.
You can
Yeah.
lean your research to one way or the other, and there's really no decrease in property value.
And I think that would,
Property values are what they are. I think the
I
assessment,
think that that would be more applied to the big monopole things, what you're referring to, and I think that it wouldn't be that way with, even though the flagpole is gonna be enlarged, it's still gonna be a flagpole.
But, yeah, and like you said, if it's a monopole.
Right,
it's
right,
totally different.
right.
But their previous question was, or statement was, they went from this size to that size to that size. Now they have the green light, when does it stop?
No, they have to, anytime they're gonna enlarge it or make any modification to it,
They have another meter.
absolutely, they'd have to go through this process.
and if I can add to that, 60-inch outer diameter is 5 foot, is the largest at this point that I've ever done. And at this point, standing here today, probably will accommodate antennas that will be used for the foreseeable future.
Okay, that was gonna be my next
Okay.
question. This allows for growth.
Does that answer your question, sir?
Okay.
Anybody else to speak for or against the request by SBA Communications for the, to enlarge the size of the flagpole canister at Cheever Park. Tom?
I just have, we're not changing the height, the height stays the same. And you, just to ask you a question that has kind of to do with the antennas. Have you seen the antennas getting smaller as technology gets different, or same size, or,
Staying the same size.
or is it just, it's just the equipment?
Just the equipment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know there's the wish that manufacturers could make the antennas smaller and accommodate the same design parameters, but the technology's not quite there yet. We may get there, but for now, it is just because that the antennas have to be larger to hold the radios that allow for the capacity and the transmission speeds.
Got it.
Jason?
What is the proximity for these towers? Like, how close is this one next to the next tower that's in similar to, you know, are we going to need more towers in the future also, you know, within 2 miles, 5 miles or something like that? Like, how do they,
The old thinking used to be that towers were somewhere in the 5 to 7 mile apart range.
okay,
As capacity increases and use increases, that distance has shrunken. Also, as frequencies that are being used by carriers goes higher, that distance shrinks, because the higher frequencies can't travel as far as like the 800 or 900 megahertz, probably like, your police department uses here, probably the 600 or 700 megahertz, goes much further than the higher frequencies. But to directly answer your question, I'm not sure, it's really just based on capacity. I think,
okay. I'm trying to think about future, you know,
Yes.
and are we going to need to do something to the, other pole that's closer to the high school and expand that, or is there a need for an additional pole somewhere else eventually, you know, open space wise?
I hate to give open-ended answers,
Uh-huh.
but I don't know, because I don't know the capacity requirements for Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile expressly. This coverage that we're talking about here will cover the town of Griffith proper,
Okay,
and increase its capacity. As far as what might be needed for other sites, I'm not sure.
okay. So
I
other towns
guess-
would need pretty much their own setup,
Yes.
okay.
I guess it's safe to say that if it's a pole of a similar nature,
Mhm.
you could future plan that, yes, something may, and I'll stress may, be required in the future.
Anything else, Jason?
That's all.
Carl? You have anything?
Yeah, a couple, you're saying we're enlarging the pole to 60 inches. When you were here last, few months ago, when this all started, what was the base gonna be then?
60 inches,
Or was it,
Yeah.
it was always 60?
yes.
Okay, I
Well,
thought, the way you made it sound like you had discussions earlier, then we
I
brought it
think
down.
originally they were gonna go with a monopole, which is totally different than what's there.
Oh, okay.
Yes, see, there
But
was-
once
That's the
they,
difference.
once they decided that they weren't gonna go with a monopole, then it was always 60 inches. Am I correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, that explains
And,
that.
and for
Confusion for me.
clarification, the size of the base of the pole will remain the same. It's just the canister at the top
Yeah, it's
that will be expanded.
upper
Yeah.
15 feet, I
And
think.
that's
Where the
shown,
antennas are sitting.
Right.
and that's shown on page
Right here.
C201,
is the
the
upper
drawings
part.
that were provided.
Yes.
Okay.
Anything else, Carl?
Okay, I see what you're doing, all right.
And
And with regard to your question, sir, yeah, you know, in my day, I mean, all of us here old enough, we remember when computers were in the size of this room. Now they're on my wristwatch for crying out loud. So who knows what technology's gonna be. In 10 years from now, all these poles will be obsolete for all this.
3 years.
Let's hope. I'm open next week, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Anything
That's all.
else?
That's all.
Starlink.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, will T-Mobile be renting any part of that pole out to any other carrier?
yes, I'm with SBA Communications, we are the T-Mobile is a tenant of ours.
Okay.
So we lease space to them. The hope is, yes, by increasing the size of the canister, it will draw future co-location. One, which goes to Jason's comment about future need, hopefully would lessen the need for another tower in the area because they'd be more apt to co-locate there since the size of the canisters are larger. And I do believe we actually may have a application coming from Verizon to go on the pole because of its increased size.
Council, will that affect is the agreement with the town of Griffith with SBA?
Well, I
Yes,
thought
it
it
is.
was with T-Mobile, but that was, I don't have the agreement with me.
Okay.
That was entered into.
Would you envision that the agreement would change if multiple carriers start?
Well, the question I have is it being increased so more can be leased to other businesses?
Right.
So it's not necessarily for the company that owns T-Mobile. I mean,
Right.
if T-Mobile's doing this, but the lease is with SBA, why isn't SBA here?
He's SBA.
I'm an employee of SBA Communications, we're the owner of the structure. I'm here with SBA, but representing T-Mobile and SBA.
So basically Verizon and all the carriers are subcontractors of yours. You're subleasing out the.
They're tenants.
They're
It's-
tenants, yeah.
It's just like I own a home that has 4 apartment buildings,
So-
I'm leasing one to.
To
Verizon.
Counselor's point, are you increasing the size because you're flooded or because you can bring on more tenants?
We're increasing the size because T-Mobile has a desire to increase their capacity.
Okay.
If by happenstance, it draws other carriers,
It's a
that's a benefit not only
two birds
for-
with one stone
Yeah,
situation,
yeah.
which there's nothing wrong with. I
No.
mean,
No, but they wouldn't have necessarily had to get an increase if they just stayed with what they had, but if they're getting an increase because of.
but T-Mobile wouldn't have been
T-Mobile
able to
needs
increase
more,
their
and in order to
service,
get
right?
more, they need to do
Exactly.
this, and when getting this, it also allows them to get that, I get it.
Council,
And-
did,
And the other, and I guess let me discuss a little bit of the design parameters behind this. You can't, in order to keep the flag functional and the halyard system working as they're designed, to be able to raise and lower so that flag doesn't get wrapped around the pole
Right.
and become a giant mess, you can't increase the size of one of the canisters and leave the other.
right,
It doesn't work. They've tried it in the past, it become a very expensive, just box. So the fix is to increase the size of all the canisters so that it works seamlessly as it does right now.
Council, did you have any?
Yes, when the SBA first came in front of us many years ago, they had colored photographs comparing different type towers. This is a flagpole, this is what it's gonna look like. I haven't seen that with this. You've got a couple schematics. I'm not a schematic kind of guy. I like that photograph. Are there any photographs of what this is gonna look like?
I don't have any available right now, but there are pictures available, yes, I can provide photos of.
That's probably all I have.
Okay.
Would that be something that you would like to see, sir?
I definitely would. Yeah,
What was your name and position?
I'm the attorney.
The town attorney.
Okay. Excuse me.
And at the same time, then, if there's anything that needs to be done with the, I don't know how, I'm gonna just say what it is, cause I don't know what it's called, but the agreement where the town of Griffith is paid so much money a month, or a year, or whatever it is, for, because that's on town property.
Yeah.
And that's a standard thing with us, that's, you know, we do that. So if by increasing the size of it, or,
Correct, the town's gonna be interested
Yes,
And this is a use variance,
right,
so it's going to be up to the town council.
right, right.
And I doubt if they would consider it without seeing some photographs of what it's gonna look
Right.
like.
Right.
They may wanna table it until you get the photographs, look at them at the next meeting.
How many tenants do you think you can accommodate with this increase if it were to be, you know, attract other clients?
Excuse me.
Like the major, all the major ones, is there enough room for that? Or,
Most likely,
I mean, we could,
looking at the,
yeah, I didn't,
probably 2 to 3,
2 to 3, okay, so
2 for sure.
T-Mobile would be taking up roughly a third of the capacity of this pole,
Yeah.
and there'd be, okay.
Yeah, 'cause there's approximately 40 feet of, stealth canister,
Okay, and you have done a similar project like this?
yes.
Okay.
okay, with that,
Pardon?
How many tenants are around it now?
Just one, T-Mobile,
Just two more.
yes.
with that, I'm gonna close the public hearing. And what is the pleasure of the board with respect to the, application for SBA Communications for T-Mobile at 500 North Elmer Street in Cheever Park? What is the pleasure of the board with regard to a recommendation to the town council on the use variance to enlarge the size of the canister and to allow for new antennas and equipment?
Can I ask a question before we entertain the motion?
Sure.
So anything we do here this evening has to still go to the
Council
town-
has the
town
final
council.
say.
Well, they're gonna have the final say. Got it. Mr. Chairman, I'm gonna make a motion that we go ahead and grant T-Mobile, Eric Greenfield, 500 North Elmer, Cheever Park, a use variance to, our favorable motion for use variance to enlarge the canister for the new antennas and equipment for said T-Mobile tower, for lack of a better term.
Is there a second?
I second that.
Any questions on the motion?
Tom, would we want to put any stipulation that our approval is based on the photographs that council's waiting for?
Well, the
Or
council's
just
gonna,
let
the council's gonna see the photographs.
Yeah, the
see
council-
And the council is gonna have the final say, so
Yeah, they
really,
could-
I don't,
They could easily,
Exactly.
and
They
the,
could- they could
to
shut
Bob's,
down.
to Bob's point, with regards to the lease
Right.
agreements, I'm sure they're gonna
Right.
be,
Okay.
digging into
I
that
just
as
wanna make
well.
sure that- yep.
And unfortunately, we have a council person here that's listened to the whole spiel. So he can relay the, concerns. Sure. Back to the full council, hopefully.
Or will do, yeah.
Appreciate that.
okay. Carl, is that the
That's
extent of
all.
your question?
That's all. I just
Okay.
questioned.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, so you understand what happened? This board hears evidence and makes a recommendation or a lack of a recommendation or an unfavorable recommendation to the common council because by Indiana law, they have the final say on a use variance. So, and I don't know when they would take that up at their meeting. You can stay in touch with the building department. They may be able to let you know. And, you know, so, and I'm sure there'll be further questions coming either from our town council at some point or the council itself, okay?
Understood.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman, go ahead and make a motion that we instruct council to do findings of facts for the SBA communication agenda item number 1 and allow you to sign them.
Second.
questions on that motion?
Will the findings of fact include all the pertinent information, including photographs and the drawings that were submitted.
I don't have them, so.
You don't have
No,
them, but when they're submitted for the,
If they're submitted to.
The
Veronica,
building department.
The building department, I would include them
yes, absolutely,
in my correspondence to the council.
beautiful. That's all I have. Vote.
Motion second.
Those, yeah, I think I'm in the
Do we
middle
have,
of
do
the
we have to,
motion.
does he have to amend the motion, Bob?
What's the change? I haven't.
There is really no
There
change.
really
It was
isn't.
just a-
It's all about these photographs,
Yeah.
which
I mean,
eventually are
I'm-
gonna go to the council anyway.
Yeah,
you know.
so you know, my thought would be I would do the findings, you're not basing your
Right,
findings
exactly.
on the photograph.
Got it.
I will see that the council gets the photographs.
Right.
So nothing needs to be
Okay.
amended.
All right, so your motion stands, the second stands. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign, motion carries. Okay, you're all set.
Thank you.
Item 2, old business, Griffith Tattoo Company by Eric Scott Morris, 339 North Broad Street, a public hearing on a special use variance to open a tattoo and piercing studio.
Hi, there, sir.
Okay, name and address?
Eric Morris. I live 209 West 40th Place in Griffith, down the street.
Okay, was everything in order for the first public hearing?
Yes, sir.
With that, I'm gonna open the public hearing then, and briefly tell us what it is you wanna do.
Basically, just want to open a small private tattoo studio right down the street here at 339 Broad Street. Just like I said, small business, nothing crazy, no crazy signage. Probably just something on the window, nothing on the building.
When you say, oh, I'm sorry.
Is there anybody here to speak for or against the request for a special use variance to open a tattoo and piercing studio at 339 North Broad Street? Anybody here to speak for or against? And one more time, anybody here to speak for or against the request for a special?
Are you gonna take questions on some of the questions that we might have before you even do this?
Not necessarily. Do you want to speak for or against it?
Or neutral?
Neutral, I would just.
How about
a
that?
couple questions that might affect.
Okay, if you give us your name and address and ask your questions.
Okay, my name is David Zarn, 316 North Lafayette,
Okay?
and I'm not speaking for her, but I'm speaking for myself also. Mrs. Mills, who's the owner of Villa Pizza.
Mhm.
I wanted to talk to her tonight, and one of the questions came up, parking. I know there was a parking issue when it was Moses right
Mhm.
here, because
Right.
that's her parking lot. Has that been discussed at all?
I think for the most part, parking will just be in front. There's 2 spaces in the front, that's all we really need. It's
Okay.
not gonna be a lot of people in and out of there. There won't be people hanging out in that parking lot, which is not ours. So I don't think that would be a problem.
That's just one of the questions that came up.
Okay, any other questions?
That's the only question I had.
Okay.
He answered the other part too about people hanging around.
Okay, all right. Tom?
Is this gonna be mainly Scott or Eric by, appointment only?
Mostly by appointment only, correct, sir.
So there's not gonna be much walk-up?
I think the only walk-in stuff would be because we're gonna offer children's ear piercings as well. The way the building's gonna be laid out on the inside is there's gonna be a wall put up and then there's the first room. So if somebody was to bring their child to get their ears pierced, they would go to that room. They would see nobody getting tattooed. Everything would be in the back, so it would just be only, that would be probably the only walk-in.
Which unit is it? Is the one next to the parking lot or the one between the parking lot and Willows?
In between.
So the little space between,
No, the last one, the very last
So
one.
right next to the
339.
parking lot?
So the,
right next to the parking lot, okay. And when you talk about signage for the window, are the windows gonna be covered?
correct.
So you can't really see what's going on inside?
You won't see anything inside.
So it's gonna be very, shielded? Because we're real sensitive about that.
I would like it to be that way, even if it's not a stipulation, just for personal preference, because, we're gonna have the door's gonna be locked as well. So
Okay.
there'll be buzz to get in.
Okay.
So, and also, I know Indiana law is a little bit different than any other state.
Tom, anything else?
No, that's it.
Jason?
I think you answered my, question regarding the windows and signage. Nothing is gonna be, bright or lit up or
Correct.
neon
I would like
signs,
to
those
be
kind of
like
things.
More just kind of secluded where
Okay.
they are, as long as there's like a small thing that
That's
says
fair.
what we are,
Mhm.
address. I
Okay. That'd be it.
Carl, do you have anything?
Yeah.
I don't either.
Is there?
Counsel.
While you're talking, for instance, I believe you're saying the windows have to be opaque. He's agreed to it, but we need to put it in writing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anything, any subject to size of a sign, not lit sign, whatever you're going to do.
Right.
You gotta let me know, so.
And put it in the motion,
Right, even though the gentleman agrees to it, which is fine. We
right, but just,
Need to.
right.
Were
Right.
you, the tattoo place that we had down the street here, they had the opaque, you couldn't see in. Is that what you're thinking?
You know, it could be completely blacked out and have just on the door or a very small part that says what the business is with the address, or it could be where you can see out but you can't see in. So if somebody's to drive by in the street, they can't see, either way is fine with me. I'm totally open to whatever. I'm not really, I really don't need people to see inside.
We have a gentleman there.
Anything
That's
else?
all, that's all.
Council, did you have anything else?
There's a gentleman out here.
Somebody got a question?
Steve Stout, Fire Marshal. Whatever you put on the window though, if it's gonna be a laminate of some sort, that just has to be fire rated.
Okay.
Those claims for that.
I'll make sure that I use a company that the town approves and everything.
Well, it's just something you'll have to research, it's just, there's flame spread ratings on some of these finals and things that they put on the windows, that just hasn't been approved for flame
Thank you for bringing that to my attention, yes, thank you.
With that, I'm gonna close the public hearing. What's the pleasure of the board with respect to a request for a special use variance for the purposes of opening a tattoo and piercing studio at 339 North Broad Street?
Mr. Chairman, I am going to make a favorable motion to the town board for Mr. Eric Scott to have a special use variance to open a tattoo and piercing studio at 339 North Broad Street with the following stipulations: that the windows are to be covered, not to be able to see inside the business. There will be no lit signage, and the window coverings must be flame-proof to meet fire codes.
Does that cover it, Steve?
Yes.
I have a question actually. Would is an open sign, Matt, is that considered the same thing? Like if I had a small open sign, no open sign?
Hang that in your door.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to.
Yeah,
make
you
sure.
can put that in your door, yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
You're fine with that.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any questions on the motion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Now, Eric, are you familiar with, maybe you heard me explain to the gentleman from SBA. This board hears evidence, conducts the public hearing, and then does one of three things, but the town council has the ultimate say, the final say, over a use variance or a special use variance. So they make the final decision. As you heard, this board made a favorable recommendation which will be in the findings of fact that council's going to prepare. So do you understand now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, I just want to make sure that you understand.
And with that, Mr. Chairman, go ahead and make a motion to have council prepare findings of facts on this issue with all the necessary stipulations put forth.
Second.
Questions on that motion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign, motion carries. You're all set.
Thank you.
New business, item 1, Tamika Blackman, 401 West 44th Place, requesting permission to hold a public hearing for a use variance to run a food truck business from her home, specifically regarding the storage of food and parking a food trailer at the residence.
Evening, everyone. Sanika Blackman, 401 West Woody Court.
Okay? Why don't you briefly tell the board what it is you want to do?
I have a concession trailer, food concession trailer. It's a mobile kitchen, and I pull it with my truck. Right now, it's sitting in my backyard, behind my fence. So it's not like in the driveway. It's like you can't see it unless
Unless you go in your backyard.
yeah. Or if you drive by, you just can see it. It's up a little bit above the gate.
Okay.
So, I was looking to, get to store it at my home. Right now, there's no food or anything on it, it's just equipment only. So, if there's a possibility for me to be able to, have food there, like on it, if I could have like food items, maybe store it in, refrigeration, like in my garage or something like that, if I would be able to do something like that. I would like to, if not, at least to be able to just have the concession trailer, stored at the home. Right now, I use, the HDC kitchen in Hammond, that's a commercial, food kitchen, where you prepare the items and then you put them on the truck. But if I could, like I said, the main thing for me is if I can't store the food at the home, which would be like, if I could have a refrigerator like in my garage, or something like that, if I can store some frozen items, that's what I'm mainly looking to do, is to store some frozen items. If not, if I can just have the trailer stored at the home with no food or anything on it, I would keep it at the commercial kitchen in Hammond.
Tom?
How big's the trailer?
I believe it's a 14-foot trailer. Yeah, it's a 14, by 8 foot.
So it's smaller than a car?
A little,
Full,
yeah, kind of
full-size car?
a little large.
Okay. And where's it right now?
Right now, it's in my backyard.
It is?
Yes.
Okay. But it's out of view, it's behind the fence. My second question is regarding the storage of food, just from my personal, because I do some of that stuff too. Did you check with the health department regarding that?
Yeah, I did. And of course, they told me, I would have to speak with the town about, trying to store food.
Well, the food truck's one issue, but as far as, like you said, storing food and stuff,
Yeah, they told me
I
that.
think you need a commissary for that. I don't think you can use your house personally.
Yeah, they did, well, that's why I have the commissary kitchen in Hammond.
Right.
Yeah, and I was just trying to see if there was a way I could cut out the middleman.
I hear you. I've been down that road before.
Yeah,
They're pretty adamant.
oh, okay,
I don't want you to be surprised,
okay.
and go through all this and that's not gonna happen. I would confer with those guys, regarding that issue, because I would bet that they're gonna say commissary, because they wanna be able to inspect it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there an issue if it's behind the fence, Bob, and out of view in your yard?
Yeah, the, home use, home business
Right,
says no trucks.
uh-huh, okay.
Also, are there gonna be any signs?
No, it's no signs or anything on it, and, how does that work? Do they consider it, do they still consider it a truck, like if it's a trailer?
Yeah.
They still, okay,
Is it tow behind, right?
yes.
Okay. And it's 14 feet. What's the length of a car generally? 22, I thought.
14 plus the tongue on
Is
the
this a double
side,
axle
so-
or a single axle?
A single,
So it's,
That's a standard.
It's a
like
very,
two-wall
almost like a,
it's a very
almost,
small trailer.
yeah, it's like a,
small
almost like a
trailer. It's a scout
pop-up,
trailer.
it's almost like a pop-up
Remember a
RV.
scout trailer?
Yeah.
It's the same size.
Yeah, okay, okay.
Yeah.
And the yard is fenced in?
Yes,
And how tall is the fence?
8 foot.
8-foot fence. You look a little perplexed over there, Mr. Bell.
Well, I'm a little
6
confused
feet?
on the agenda for tonight. It says a request for a whole public hearing for a use variance to run a food truck business from her home. So
Yeah.
are you planning on selling food out of your truck at your home?
Oh,
Or are
no,
you just talking about storing your truck at home?
just storing the truck at the home.
So this is strictly for storing.
Right.
The truck. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that clarification. Appreciate that.
Jason, do you have anything?
When you say frozen items, these items, are they prepared? Or is this something you wanted to prepare at your house? Or is this something, are you storing frozen things that were prepared off-site, like at the kitchen?
Yeah, I would take it, well, for an example, let's say I was going on an outing. I would take it from my freezer and just put it onto the truck and then go to wherever I'm going and then prepare it there.
And prepare it over there?
So you're actually not gonna prepare food at your house
Oh, no,
to stock the truck?
right, right,
Okay.
Okay.
You basically have a deep freezer with beef or whatever that you're putting
So-
in.
yes.
Basically, let me see if I can narrow this down somewhat. Basically, what you're looking for, because Tom's right about the commissary, you're not gonna be able to store food. I mean, they're just, there's too many problems with that.
Okay,
Basically, what you're looking for is you wanna be able to park your trailer in your backyard, behind your fence.
Out of sight.
yes,
Is that basically what you want, what you're looking for?
that's what I want, yes.
And you conduct business outside of your home, it's somewhere else, not at your home. So
Right.
wherever you're gonna be selling the food is off-site.
Right, correct.
So you're,
Yeah, right, that's pretty good. Mr. Chairman, is there a need here?
Counsel, what's your position?
Well, they'll need a use variance, if that's what they intend to do, and it has to go in front of the town council
Right.
for approval. Because the home use ordinance says you cannot have a truck.
Oh, I see
So
what you're saying.
if you say, well, yeah, you can have it in the backyard, you know, is it always gonna be in the backyard?
Right.
When you load it, is it gonna be in the backyard?
Right.
You unload it, it's gonna be in the back, I don't know.
Yeah,
But that's up to the town council,
Right.
that's the way they can.
right.
And at this point, she's just requesting permission to advertise,
Right.
Correct.
which is fine. There may be clarification before the next meeting,
okay.
I'm looking at it.
so.
Okay, that's a good point. Mr. Chairman, I go ahead and make a motion that we allow, excuse me, I'm trying to find the first page of my notes here. Ms. Tamika Blackman, 401 West 44th Place, permission to have a public hearing in our January meeting, which will be January 19th, and permission to advertise.
I'll second.
Any questions on the motion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You have permission to advertise, and there are certain stipulations that you have to meet in order for us to conduct the public hearing. You can contact our building commissioner, and they can inform you as to exactly what you have to do, okay? And there's a time sequence on this of 10 days, so You probably need to be if you're gonna try to do the January meeting, you probably need to be getting a hold of the building commissioner very soon. And she will instruct you as to what you need to do. Okay?
All right,
All right, you're all set.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any communications? Motion to adjourn is in order.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor? Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Show the meeting adjourned at 6:47 PM. Yeah, it basically, she wants permission to